Alright guys, so welcome back to another comic review, and today we're going to be reviewing a book from that was sent to me by my friend Chris. Thank you once again, brother. And that is Conan, The Age Unconquered. This is volume 3 of Jim Zub's Titan books collection, which I've been really enjoying. Like, I have thoroughly been loving the Conan the Barbarian comics for the longest time. Like, these comics have been nothing short of just epic incarnate. It's been a really solid series, and I can't wait for the upcoming event called Battle for the Black Stone, which is going to involve other Robert E. Howard characters like Solomon Kane and a few others, as well as Volume 4, which I think comes out in March, April. I think Battle for Blackstone's first in March, and then in April, Volume 4 comes out. Either way, it's just kind of nice to read good old Conan the Barbarian books. While I did enjoy Conan's time in the Marvel Universe, it is kind of nice to see, basically see a world that is, that really does feel like classic Conan. So for a little context, because it has been a while since I've reviewed Volume 3, in this one, in the events of the end of the first book, Conan stabbed himself with this mystical dagger that basically kind of broke time and flung him into far-off reaches. Basically flung him off into far wayward lands, and has since basically been it's basically been where the hell did Conan go? Well, it turns out he got flung to the far past, where he met Brule the Spear Slayer, and more importantly, Kull the Conqueror, or rather King Kull in this timeline. Kull is another character from Robert E. Howard's collection, so is Brule to an extent. But Conan basically is a character that has, Kull is a character, not Conan. It's going to be hard because they sound similar. Kull basically was an Atlantean who became a king. He's very similar to Conan. Robert E. Howard's a good writer, but creative he ain't. Character building he is not. Outside of, like, maybe Solomon Kane and two other characters. But yeah, Conan has now been thrown into the further past and aids Kull in order to find out where Kull has been having visions that have been making him distrust his own mind, and it's been bringing him back to the ruins of his homeland, Atlantis. So now Conan, alongside Brule, Kull, and his soldiers, they have to travel to the wayward lands of Atlantis, while at the same time Conan does his best to try to figure out what's going on. There's actually, what I like about this book is a lot of connective tissue to other Robert E. Howard books, specifically the Tower of the Elephant, which is probably one of my favorite Conan stories. In there, Conan encountered a creature with an elephant head called Yog-Sothoth, and Yog-Sothoth was an alien who fell to Earth eons ago, and in here, he meets him in the timeline, and Yog-Sothoth is like, "Oh yeah, I know who you are, Conan. You kill me in the future." And he's like, "Oh," and Conan's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He's like, "No, don't be. I asked you to kill me. I know where my story ends, but your story is a little different from mine because you're not supposed to be here, dude." So Yog-Sothoth basically tells Conan, like, "Hey, the King Kull's gonna need you. So you need to stand by him, because there's something else coming." So this is what I really like also about Jim Zub as a writer. Zub is really good at telling you a whole story arc in 4 issues. No more, like, a lot of the comics of the Conan the Barbarian series so far have basically been self-contained stories, and it is overarching. Obviously, this takes place after the events of Volume 2, Thrice Marked for Death, but in here, at least, he can tell a whole story in 4 issues. Now, granted, Conan books are a little longer, so it gives them more chance to do that, so, yeah. But yeah, that still stands. If you could tell a whole ass story in 4 issues, that you are clearly doing something right, my dude. Also, we get the artwork of, I forget their name, Roberto de la Torre, who did the work in Volume 1, which was phenomenal. Not to say anything bad about Volume 2's artwork, it was still good, but I really prefer de la Torre's artwork a lot more. It really invokes that kind of, like, classic Conan, sword and sorcery energy. And also, de la Torre can do shit like this. Like, just a whole collage of storytelling in pages worth. There is some beautiful artwork from De La Torre in here that, again, really, it's grimy, but it's also how De La Torre uses shadows and coloring is phenomenal, and it's just perfect. It's just really it just is perfect for Conan. It's really hard. It's like, yeah, I mean, Conan art, there are a lot of good Conan artists out there, but De La Torre just fucking knocks it out of the park every time. So it is good to see, to see that. Yeah, this comic continues to be solid. I also love the villain that shows up in here. I'm not going to spoil who it is, but if you know your Conan, it's the one guy you expect. But how they use that villain is pretty solid. I will say that. It's a pretty solid use of this villain. And it's a nice little surprise, too. I really also like how Kull... this is Kull in his, like, later days. This is not, like, Kull the Conqueror. This is, like, Conan is seeing Kull in his age as a king. Which he was kind of blinded by a lot of, like, supernatural and, and his own distrust of others. So it is cool of how they use Kull in this universe. All in all, like I said, if you want to read some classic Conan, look no further than Titan Books. Titan Books, Titan Comics, or Titan Books, however they say it. Jim Zub's Conan the Barbarian, which he started writing at Marvel with Savage Sword of Conan, before it went to... I guess when Jim was so wanted to write a Conan book that when he started writing it, that's when they, Marvel was like, alright, we lost the rights to Conan, it's going to Titan Books, and Jim said, then you lost Jim Zub. Bye, guys. I'm going to write Conan, it's my calling in life. It is what's best in life. Jim Zub, what is best in life? To read your comics, to write your favorite character, and hear the lamentations of the editors. You're welcome for that. Anyway, so, yeah, Jim Zub's Conan the Barbarian books have just been nothing short of epic. Chris, thank you so much again for helping me read these books. It's just phenomenal. And yeah, if you've been reading Conan the Barbarian, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.